Et on relance le rec. Let's go.
Here fighting to keep what ma-
No backing down! Engaging!
Je me fais déglinguer là. Le carré, je vais le changer, hein, j'aime pas. Je sais pas quoi mettre à la place.
Consider yourself finished.
Papapalapapam.
Nicely done.
Ah, ça veut dire boss.
Did that finally get rid of the wall?
To think they would hide it in Lord Dohalim's personal quarters. The nerve of these people.
They won't get away with it for much longer.
That's right. We have to hurry to the Lord's chamber. Let's go.
Ok, passons d'orchestre. Ok, bon. On va retourner champ du Seigneur. Il y a forcément un boss, j'imagine.
Well, well, if it isn't the slaves and the traitor. I don't remember giving you permission to enter the palace.
So it's true. You really are the one behind all this, Kelzalik.
I don't remember giving you permission to speak either. Know your place, slave.
Now we see his true colors.
Yeah, a despicable excuse for a human being. Though really, I guess that makes him pretty ordinary, huh?
Kelzalik, you were Lord Dohalim's most trusted advisor. His closest ally. Why would you betray him?
Don't be a fool. I didn't serve him because I wanted to. I expect a mere slave wouldn't know, but there are many powerful contenders for the position of Lord. A contest of strength determines the one who will be Lord and undisputed ruler of a realm. There is no choice in the selection. If my master had any ambitions of becoming the sovereign, I would have gladly served him.
But he had no intention of fighting for the crown.
Indeed. Can you slaves even imagine how that looked to the rest of us? Enduring the whims of an ambitionless lord, all we could do was wait for the end as we suffered through our humiliation.
You want suffering? Try being Danon for a day.
So you plotted against Lord Dohalim in secret. And when my brother found out...
And I would do it all again if it meant returning Menancia to its rightful state! A realm where Danons are slaves and Renans their masters. It's the natural order.
Enough! Who are you to decide what is natural or rightful, traitor? Miguel, my brother. He dreamed of building a world free of suffering. He gave his life for that dream. And all you've managed to build is a lake of death! You killed my brother. And now you'll die for it!
Let's go.
My brother's dead because of you.
Why should I concern myself with the passing of one?
Les arts venimeux.
Have you no shame?
Careful! It has some kind of camouflage!
Demon Fang!
Aim
for the weak spot. Try harder! Now! Ignite!
Reload!
First try!
Dragon étincelant. Ah.
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Form! It vanished again?
Listen carefully and keep your eyes peeled.
Dragon Form!
I never miss! Those dance in the wind! Air
Dragon Form!
Now you see what I can do.
You're mine! You're finished!
Lightning
I'm on it! Dragon Form!
Non, ça va, ça va. Si jamais après ça peut se corser.
You're mine!
Bim.
I'm not done! I'm on! Come and get it! Take this! You're finished! Dragon Form! You're mine!
Ok. Ah mais j'ai pas eu son point faible.
You're mine! It's over! I'm on it! Dragon Form! Now!
J'ai cassé son point faible, ah oui.
It's over! Eternal devastation!
J'ai dû le taper sans faire exprès.
I never miss!
You're finished!
Armor won't save you.
Dragon Form!
Raging Cascade! Mega Ray!
Eat this!
Lightning
Here I
Raging
come!
Il est pas fort pour l'instant. Hein.
You picked
On va voir par la suite, mais pour l'instant c'est cas de vache.
I'll be okay.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I'll heal you all!
Take it!
Champion!
You're finished! Dragon Form! It's over! I owe you one! Double Demon Fang!
Il a invoqué des mouches.
Freeze Lancer! Light Astral Energy! It's about to strike!
Oula oula oula.
You see what happened there as you crossed me.
Annihilate!
For that! Steel!
I'll bring you back from death to
Oh, j'ai eu le temps.
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here, let me help. First aid!
Eat dirt!
Lightning dance in the wind!
No escape!
Sleep now. I'll be saving this one.
Dragon Form!
Gravitas field!
Take this!
It's over!
Il va courir.
Annihilation! Flawless flight!
Eat this!
Light Astral Energy! Here! I never miss! Who wants to die next? Eagle Fly! Photon Raging Cascade!
Dragon Form!
Field!
You're mine!
Et une en moins.
I'm out!
You're mine!
Aïe aïe aïe.
Here's the lightning condensed!
Thanks!
Thunderblade! Shining Supernova! I'll take it from here.
Let's go.
Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! Mega Ray!
You're finished!
This is it! Steel Force! Lightning Condensed! Thunderblade!
You're finished!
Radiant Light!
Il va recourir.
Try to dodge! Mega Ray! The sky is mine!
Ça va. Hein.
Smash you!
Moi c'est nul en vrai. Hein.
Ignite!
I'll be healed!
I owe you one! I'm not done!
I never miss!
Almost there.
Or close enough!
Take it away, Law.
I thought you'd never ask.
Raging cascade!
Double demon fang!
It's weakened!
Here I come! This ends now!
Denied!
Glacial
En fait, j'aurais pu l'arrêter quand il court. J'ai oublié ça.
It's over!
Paralysé. Paralysé.
Stay away from my friends! I won't lose.
Crevé là.
Now, not ever!
On va me crever avec cette, hop.
There! Dragon Swarm! This one's all mine!
On va raise l'autre là. Si je peux. Ah, je peux pas. On va faire un remède alors.
This should do it! Dragon Swarm! Eternal Devastation! Burn in hell!
Je vais stopper avec ça.
Leave the force to me!
Double demon fang!
Where are you going?
Crush! Try not a chance!
Glacial spear! Pierce the eagle!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it! Shield!
Let's go.
Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
You filthy slaves are despicable!
Your dreams of attaining lordship are no more. Give up, Kelzalik.
Attaining lordship! Ridiculous! Only those who possess a master core can become a lord. What, did you think just anyone could do it?
But then, what were you trying to accomplish with this? Didn't you betray your lord?
Yes, that's true. However, there are other lords.
Other lords? So you mean...
At last, the truth is revealed.
Dohalim, where have you been this whole time?
Cleaning up. Kelzalik, you've made your last of these.
The fruit of Helgen?
It can't be. You found my production facility?
Correct. And I tore it down. But something still troubles me. It's clear that this is no ordinary fruit. Nor was the equipment used to grow it. You couldn't have done all this without outside assistance. Indeed. Something like this must have come from another realm. Tsar, perhaps?
You actually expect me to talk now? At this point, the contest for the crown will be over soon enough. And you will finally receive the punishment you deserve for your weakness.
I've already received my punishment. May this be my final act, as the Lord of Eldermen and Zia. Go. To Mahag Sar, Ganeth Haros, wherever you think you'll find a suitable lord.
Are you all right with this? He killed your brother after all.
He did. But then I thought, he's nothing more than one common, ordinary Renin. He's not worthy of my time or my anger, right?
So after everything, was the dream of coexisting just a dream? What is that?
Those are the cheers of the brave Danans who overpowered Kelzalik's forces.
Wait, they challenged the Renins?
Indeed. A militia made up of Danan guardsmen, Renin supporters, and of course, the Gold Dust Cats.
Do we have you to thank for bringing them all together?
Regardless of what your original motivations were, your dream of coexistence saved countless lives. And now, those people out there are fighting to keep that dream alive. That's something real.
Be that as it may, they do so now by their own hands. These people no longer need any lord.
Where are you going?
To put an end to the crown contest. So long as its madness persists, peace will remain ever out of reach. I cannot allow it to continue.
The crown contest impacts far more than just the Danans. You're choosing to fight Lenegis and the entire Empire.
I am well aware. However, if I wish to keep this dream from dying, then I have little choice in the matter. Besides, it's the least I can do.
So you're gonna go out there and make that dream real on your own?
You may be decided on your path, but that doesn't make it any less difficult.
Why not walk that road with us?
Pardon?
You heard me. We're fighting to liberate the Danans. You're fighting for the people of this realm. I'd say we're on the same path, really. It would only make sense for us to walk it together.
Danan dissidents, side by side with a Renan lord? Not the least intriguing invitation I've received. An invitation which would only be proper courtesy for me to accept.
I'll take that as a yes.
Hey, where'd Kisara go? I don't see her anywhere.
Maybe she just needed some time alone. A lot's happened.
That makes sense. She did just lose her brother after all.
We ought to keep moving as well. So long as there are lords who draw breath, we have a mission to complete. Kisara's a big girl. I'm sure she can handle herself. We should hurry on ahead to our next destination.
I guess you're right. And it is a lot safer here than it was. What do you think, Dohalim?
I am not sure I have the right to say anything as far as Kisara is concerned.
Fair enough. Well, I, for one, would like to say goodbye if we get a chance. Let's keep an eye out for her as we leave.
Dohalim et vous êtes maintenant amis. Ouais. Ah, c'est Kisara qui a quitté le groupe du coup. Noyau primordial de la Terre, les fruits et le gain ont imprimé une quantité insolente d'énergie astrale. Du fromage. Dohalim. Lorsque Dohalim réussit une esquive parfaite, ses sens deviennent encore plus aiguisés et la puissance de son bâton augmente. Bon. Dans ainsi son conservement après ses attaques, la puissance de ses coups augmente elle aussi, ce qui permet d'interrompre les ennemis et de leur porter des coups critiques plus souvent.
What's Kisara going to do now?
I'm sure it's complicated for her.
Y'a rien ici apparemment. J'espère. Bon, le boss c'était facile hein. On va juste se barrer.
Where did Kisara run off to?
You don't think she took off after Kelzalik, do you?
No. Miguel entrusted her with his dream. She wouldn't do something reckless like that. Right now, I think she just needs time to think. What she does from here on out is up to her. She has to be the one to decide.
D'accord. Let's go.
You all arrived here from Cislodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
Yeah.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Danins and Renins have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going, I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Legil?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Danin lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Elda Menencia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renin lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
Ok. Sarah et vous êtes maintenant amis. Gnocchi, poisson en feuille. Ok, alors on va finir ça. Non, c'est lui après. Elle, on va faire ça. Quoi? Ouais, attends, on va temporiser pour ces deux-là. Quoi? Hop. Quoi? Hop. Quoi? Comme j'ai dit, je vais finir les cercles, ça donne des bonus passifs. Donc on va faire ça maintenant.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Elderman and Sea Guard. So, in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzalik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense. Enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Danins and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion?
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
Bien dit, Shion la best. Let's go. Et on s'en va. Ciao. Alors.
I think Poodle senses something.
Donc il y a un hibou dans le coin.
Mahog Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. They try to get in our way. We'll take them down and that'll be that.
What's this thing?
Il est où?
An opponent like this should be easy.
C'est le L de quoi lui? L de haut maintenant? C'est le L de haut. Je vais la remettre en haut. Hein. C'était elle en haut. Il va dégager en bas je pense.
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Ah il est là. J'arrive pas. Je vais faire agresser.
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
Dragon Swarm! Here I come! Do it!
Astral energy, full throttle.
Certainly not bad.
No complaints here.
Hoo. Hoo. Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Look, Hoodle, one of your buddies.
Ok, alors attendez. Comment je change? Ah, ce sera peut-être en combat. Alors, on va aller à gauche, premier lieu.
There's something in the water.
Mhm.
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
On débloque enfin la pêche. Le Dana est parsemé de nombreux coins de pêche, chacun présentant des espèces de poissons spécifiques à pêcher. Ces poissons peuvent être cuisinés, vendus contre des galdes ou encore utilisés pour débloquer de nouveaux titres. N'hésitez pas à essayer de vos coins de pêche lorsque vous en trouvez. La pêche se divise en 4 étapes: lancer la ligne, attirer les poissons, les ferrer, les sortir de l'eau. Pour plus d'informations sur chacune des étapes, ok. Au tuto pêche du coup. Alors,
Hey, what do you think about that spot?
il y a un
Good
poisson
idea.
là.
I'll go for that one.
On n'a pas. Ok. Je fais quoi après? Je comprends rien.
Looks like I lost it.
Je comprends pas. Et je fais quoi en fait? Ah, je l'ai capté.
There we go.
On bat tout, hein. On bat tout, mais on a
She's got a
réussi.
good size to her, all told.
That flapper was a true fighter.
Ok. Ok, c'est bon, on a compris. Je veux juste tester une fois, voir.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
Ok. Je vais renforcer l'art de la pêche, ça fait un sacré bail que je pêche. On va faire profiter si t'intéresse, je te demanderai juste une chose en échange, je voudrais juste voir tes notes sur toutes les prises que tu pêcheras. Ok. Faire de la pêche. Je vais donner les trucs de base. Ok. Ok, bon. En plus. Peu de gens de plus, il m'a dit. Bon, la pêche, on le fera pas, je pense. Ouais, on l'a testé une fois, voir ce que ça faisait. Mais voilà quoi.
I'm always amazed.
Bouclier d'infanterie. Il est moins bien que celui que j'ai de base. Non mais... Une blague en fait. Ça sert à quoi alors?
Just doing my job.
Je comprends pas. Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Hey.
Hmm?
Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Oh, encore un R1, laisse-moi tranquille avec les R1,
I've
il y en
noticed
a
that
trop.
sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Ah, c'est bon, il n'y a plus de R1. J'aime bien les R1, mais quand il y en a trop quoi. Hein. Alors, créer une arme. Ah oui. Ah oui. Ok, il y a des nouvelles épées qui sont 10 fois plus puissantes. Moi je veux ça, moi. Carapace sphérique dure. Il y a des... Ah oui, ok, il y a beaucoup de trucs. truc, mais j'ai rien. Ouais, on va économiser, je pense. Ah, proposons-nous un peu.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor.
Alors. Un bonus XP, c'est pas mal.
Looks perfect and tastes just as good.
On va parler à l'eau.
Mind if I join you, Law?
Il y a des dialogues.
Oh, hey, Alphen. What's up?
Nothing. I was just surprised to see you weren't training for once. Got a stomach ache or something?
You know I don't literally train around the clock, right? I do take breaks.
Do you? It seems like you're training every chance you get.
Well, yeah, it can't be helped if I want to get stronger. Still, it's important to let your muscles rest every now and then. That's what my dad told me anyway.
Zephyr said that?
When I was a little kid, yeah. I would get so excited whenever he came home. I always followed him wherever he went and tried to learn as much from him as I could. He said, it's good to be passionate, but don't overdo it. Just like there are times when you want to take a break from studying, sometimes your body wants to take a break from training too. I was always rushing around and forgetting to rest, so he ended up telling me that a lot.
That definitely sounds like him.
It's nothing to get sad over. Still, I can't help but wonder if that was my dad's way of teaching me the dangers of rushing into things too quickly. Then again, maybe I'm just overthinking things. I wish I'd had more time to talk to him about this kind of stuff. See you guys tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow. Ok.
You guys ready to hit the road? I know I am.
Let's go.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Hello? Les petits dragons?
No holding back.
This will be a piece of cake.
I'm only getting started. My
Je vais voir mon nouveau sort d'ailleurs.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it. Now, it's over.
Je vais voir mon nouveau sort avec Kelfen.
Here's the evil.
Now or never.
Range Lancer.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Je sais pas si on pourra changer ces coups spéciaux là.
We're getting in here.
It's over.
I'll be saving this one. Range Lancer now. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Pas du tout si on va pouvoir les changer.
I can feel my power growing.
Allez, attends 2 secondes. Arte. Le carré à chier. Lequel du coup le nouveau c'est vent coupant. C'est quoi? Soit celui-là, soit celui-là, de toute façon. On va tester celui-là au pire. Ouais, c'est un truc qui vole encore, je suis pas fan de trucs qui volent moi. On va prendre celui-là du coup. Ok. Peut-être un arte. J'ai toujours pas d'arte attaque aérienne, hein, j'en ai que 2 tout le temps. Mettons. Qu'est-ce qu'ils sont pénibles ces gars là?
All right.
Ok, let's go. Alors, préhendaire. Fait pousser des plantes grimpantes pour entraver et frapper les ennemis. Les ennemis rapides comme l'éclair sont mis à terre et ne peuvent plus esquiver.
There's nowhere to run from my heart. When he slows down, that's our chance.
Keep up with the wall! Freeze laser!
Go away!
Raging star! Up and at 'em! Let's go!
Here I come.
Eagle fly!
Take this!
C'est bon. Je le tue du coup. Vous pouvez percevoir des ennemis particulièrement agiles, tels des loups ou des singes. Envoyé d'Oalim. Son attaque bonus les prive de leur atout et les empêche d'esquiver. Yes.
I'm not done! Dragon Sword!
In a bind?
Dragon Sword!
I'll be saving this one!
Double Demon Fang!
Shining supernova!
Ah oui, c'est le coup là. J'avais déjà mis avant ce coup là.
Try harder! Not yet! Rip its hair! No further!
Go for it!
On va remettre un autre sort du coup. Hein.
Not a chance! Talon Hurricane!
Now! Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
Ok. Ok. En disposant d'artefacts, vous bénéficiez d'effets spéciaux qui pour certains peuvent tous servir de bonus à utiliser après avoir terminé le jeu. Ah. Vous pouvez activer et désactiver chacun de ces effets. Mais j'ai pas terminé le jeu. On va les couilles. Vous pouvez maintenant paramétrer 6 artés supplémentaires. Appuyez sur triangle sur l'écran des artés pour passer d'un panneau à l'autre. Les artés paramétrés sur le deuxième panneau peuvent être utilisés en appuyant sur L2. Ok. Je vois. Je vois.
There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage.
Ah, attends, du coup, je peux... Ah ouais, ok. Voilà, on va mettre ça, on va laisser comme ça. Du coup, j'ai débloqué 6 sorts maintenant. Ok. Ok, pourquoi pas.
Jim.
Ok, là, je fais de côté.
Visibility along this path will remain limited.
Encore un.
I just
Il y en a
noticed
trop.
none of you other Danons have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danon slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renin doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danons in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Ok, let's go. Bon, je peux enfin jouer. Il y a beaucoup de dialogue dans le jeu. Je trouve qu'il y a beaucoup trop de R1 à mon goût.
What's this thing?
Du riz. Il vole là-haut. Il vole au-dessus là.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! This! Burning strike! Laser spear! Here's all mine! That's enough!
Freeze
Blow
Lancer!
away! Dragon form! Denied! It must take guts to fight without a weapon.
I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
L2.
Say the word.
Carré.
Spectacle to behold. I'm not trying to be dramatic with it. Still, it's a part of me. Embrace it.
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Ok, le 2 machin c'est un peu compliqué. J'aurais préféré L1, je vais pas vous mentir, comme dans
No
Crisis Core.
complaints here.
Ouais, au-dessus là.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Not in your dreams.
Flying free? Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of that?
Il est toujours en...
Astral energy. Full throttle.
Je pensais ce mec.
Leave the ensnaring. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here's a healing arm.
I'm not done! Eat this! You're mine!
Where are you going?
Dragon Swarm!
Take this!
Hey, do it! I'll heal you all. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Ok.
I can carve through armor!
Ready to go.
I'm on crush! Talon Storm! Severing Wing! Here I come! You're finished!
Ouais, c'est pas mal finalement le truc d'air quand tu décolles là.
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
I lost myself in the heat of the moment.
Pas mal, pas mal.
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rimrock.
7300 gold. Ah oui,
Well, I'll do my best.
c'est pas mal. On va monter là.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
Ok, je peux le rec.